Thank you for making the time to be with us this evening or day, depending on where you are in the world. And I just want to say there are others who are signed up to join us, so there might be people popping in, but also it might be that they just catch the recording. So if you don't want to be recorded, if you speak tonight or today, wherever you are, just let me know and I'll pause the recording. Okay, so before we just start to talk and share, I'd love to just take a moment to just be together with our breath and arrive into the space together. So from wherever you are, make sure you can take a moment just to get comfortable. So maybe you need some cushions or blanket or block or bench or chair under you, but take the support that you need. And you can either close your eyes or keep them open, whatever feels most comfortable in this moment. And let's just arrive together to feel our breaths, to feel our hearts, to feel perhaps what is bringing you into this meeting, this moment, this day, this night, again, wherever you are in the world. So just letting yourself be breathed, letting yourself arrive. And feeling aware, being aware, placing some kind of gentle focus in the middle of your heart. Oftentimes, it is our hearts that guide us into truth or into choices we need to make. And oftentimes, it's the swirl of our minds that can confuse us. So let your awareness just very gently rest inside the middle of your heart, and whatever that means for you. Your heart, your breath, this moment, arriving to explore with curiosity together. And I'll just be silent for about a minute or so for for us to just breathe and feel our hearts and arrive. And then let's just go a little bit more specific. See if you can notice what's in your heart, what's in your breath, what's in your body, what's in your mind, any curiosities, any longings that you might feel around specifically this pilgrimage to South India in February 2026, which can feel like a really far away, long time from now. And yet, when we are considering a pilgrimage, it begins the moment we start considering it. So let yourself breathe a few breaths and honor whatever's in your heart, whatever's in your body, your breath, your mind, any longing, any questions, any curiosity, any visions, questions, anything. And just breathe with what's here. And when you feel ready to, if your eyes are closed, you can go ahead and open them. So welcome again. And for those of you who I haven't met yet, my name is Corinne. You can say your own name. I won't say it for you.
Hi, I'm Matthew.
And I just want to share a little bit of the why behind what we've been doing for, I guess it's now 10 years. Yeah, bringing people to India. So I've been teaching yoga classes since 2003 and leading teacher trainings for the last 10 years. And I love it. I love every aspect of what it is to share the practices and teachings of yoga. And every day, every month, every year, I'm learning so much more. It's like I always feel like I know this much out of the endless vastness of what yoga is. And it's so beautiful. So I love what I get to do every day for, since 2003. And there is something that cannot be taught about yoga and the teachings of yoga that can only be experienced, that can only be transmitted when one, and I'm really speaking for myself, when I'm in India. There's something that there's not words for. I mean, of course, there will be words. You will go to places, you will sit with teachers, we will go to sacred sites and temples. But there's just something that I and what I witness in others learn about the layers of ourselves, the depth of ourself, like the truth of who we are, the truth of spiritual reality, a very, very like a deepening of our connection with divinity and what it is to really live yoga. There's just something that happens there that's remarkable, that we cannot feel, experience, see, smell, hear, realize, know anywhere else but there. So for me, that's kind of like the why we've been bringing people over these like last 10 years. And I love witnessing people on their journey. Everybody has, like, we go through something as a group. Of course, it's a group pilgrimage, and it's not a vacation. It's not even really a retreat. Like we are showing up to practice, to be really honest with ourselves. There's things sometimes, you're asked to do that you're like, this is really uncomfortable. But, a true spiritual path is often really uncomfortable. And I mean that in the best of ways. It's like, what else would you want to be doing with your life other than see and seek truth, or grow, or realize, or awaken, or heal, whatever word you want to use. So, it's just such an honor. It's an honor and a gift to get to witness people go through the experience. So that's a little bit from me of the why. Do you want to, I mean, I know we share similar, but do you want to speak to it for yourself?
I was told to bring people to India by God. That's the why for me, in a nutshell. Very quite literally. Corinne and I went to India in 2013. At the time, I was working for a big nonprofit organization in a big important position, and I felt like I literally heard bring people here. And within a year, I had quit my job. We had bought a yoga studio, and we were starting the process of bringing people. So when I first heard that, it was completely improbable. And I didn't know how it would possibly happen. And it's pretty miraculous that after all these years, it's still happening and still has life. And we've done this together a number of times, and I've also brought people into North India. Every single trip is completely different. We go to, it has kind of logistical differences from year to year, but we learn and we shape things according to our experiences. We've only been doing this kind of intensive interior Vanamalai for, I think this is the third or fourth year.
Well, no, because we always went there.
Intensive.
Meaning being there longer.
Yes, being there for a week. So So, and I have never done, there's these tours of India where you can go and see like 25 countries in a week, or I mean, 25 cities in a week, not countries, 25 cities in a week, and stay in all these different hotels and be on a bus the whole time or on a different airplanes. I've never done that. I've never wanted to do that. I'm very drawn to being in one place, and all the retreats that I've done have been one or two places for the whole time. And Tiruvannamalai is a very rich place to do that. It's been a pilgrimage site before anybody, going back into when history dissolves into, whatever. And millions of people have come there on pilgrimage. And the energy of all of that, and all the sadhus who have come and given themselves to the mountain. Arunachala is this mountain in the center of Tiruvannamalai, and it is understood and experienced to be an embodiment of Shiva, an embodiment of the divine. So not like where God lives or a backdrop to the divine, scenery, an actual like God's body, this mountain. And it's so beautiful and so radiant. And these spiritual seekers for thousands of years have come there and stayed in caves on Arunachala, stayed in and around Tiruvannamalai, and all of their tapas, all of their spiritual endeavor over thousands of years is held in the atmosphere of this place, in addition to the radiance of the mountain. So it's a place that's super rich. A lot of people know about it because of Ramana Maharshi's ashram, but that's just one. Ramana Maharshi was one incredible, amazing being who lived at and gave himself to Arunachala. And there's many more. And the vibrance of the mountain is its own. Ramana came there to merge with Arunachala. So even Ramana is subsumed by the mountain itself. Ramana's ashram is subsumed by the mountain itself. The main event is the mountain itself. So being able to introduce people to that place is an incredible gift.
So we have so much that we can share with you, but I also want to just pause here because we'd love to hear from you and what do you want to know? Who are you? What are you seeking? How may we be of service to you? So, and again, just the reminder that this is being recorded because there will be others wanting to listen, so who couldn't be here tonight. So just let me know and I can pause it if you don't want to be recorded. So anything you want to ask or say or share, anything is very welcome. And, of course, we could go through like the proposed itinerary and all of that. But I think it's, we're a small group. It's nice to hear like what's in your heart? What are you seeking? So anybody's welcome to just unmute and speak.
All right, I can go first, I guess. So, hi, I'm Vijay Sethuraman. I'm based in Richmond, Virginia. I'm originally from India, grew up in Mumbai. My parents are from southern India, so I'm kind of, I won't say I'm familiar with all the places, but I kind of heard their names like growing up. And my dad was a big disciple of Ramana Maharshi. Um, and I won't say I was necessarily spiritual growing up, though, even though I grew up in a very spiritual family. I was all about wanting to explore the world and all that. So I've been here in the US 25 years. I've probably seen more of the US than India at this point. But for me, just hit 50, it's more about just reconnecting with whatever, like the small places my dad took me when I was a little kid in Madras, and he did. And I was probably like 7 years at that time, but it's still one of those memories that's still vivid in my mind. Is he just took me to Ramana Rishi, like some small gathering in Chennai, and I was like any other kid. I didn't want to sit still or stuff like that. And but I think we were just there for an hour, but the incredible peace that I felt even as a 7-year old, I still kind of carry that with me, every day here. So now it just for me it's just matter of reconnecting back and just exploring those places a little bit more. My sister actually is still resides in Mumbai. She took me to Tirumala Malai like a couple of years back. So that was my first time visiting the place, and I absolutely loved it. So just kind of looking to go back again, I guess.
Me too, Vijay.
We were
Oh,
muted.
sorry.
Just go
Nice
ahead.
to meet you, Vijay. I'm glad that you joined, and
Yeah, thank you so
good to know
much.
a bit about
Sure.
your background.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Tracy.
Hi, nice to be here with you both. I found out about you guys through Nina Rao's recent post, and I've been a student of Ram Dass for many, many years. And so I guess this is a question. Like I have this real attachment to like Neem Karoli Baba and Hanuman and sites in northern India that I've heard about from Ram Dass forever. And but I also just have this real longing to like just go to India. And so I don't know like if it's just like my brain kind of making some kind of like, oh, this isn't the exact right thing that I really want to do because I would really love to go to Neem Karoli Baba's ashram, but um yeah, so I don't even know what my question is exactly, but if you guys want to speak to that, because I'm sure other Ram Dass people are here or will be listening at some point. So thanks.
Oh, thank you, Tracy. We probably both have. Go ahead, you were. Thank
I've
you.
run retreats in the north and brought people to Neem Karoli Baba's ashram, and it is an amazing place. The Kamon Hills and the foothills of the Himalayas, and similarly, there's Neem Karoli Baba's ashram, and then there's several other places and lots of beings who kind of have inhabited that space and filled it up with their spiritual energy. And similarly to the south, the mountains are a place that were not, whenever India was colonized, when the Mughals came, when the British came, these places up in the mountains and in the south were not as influenced by these other cultures. So they maintained the historical energy of ancient India in a way that's different than other places in the country. And I can imagine for sure, like wanting, I mean, what your connection is, your spiritual connection and your feeling of connection to Neem Karoli Baba and that lineage and that history, it's all there in the north. I mean, that's the place for it. And what we're offering, there's aside from Ramana, there are other beings. It's so hard to these Anandamayi Ma or Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar or Ramana Maharshi or Neem Karoli Baba or these kind of illuminated beings from recent memory who offered so much to the world. There are beings like that in the Tiruvannamalai space also to get to know and to experience. And my connection, I first went to India in 2000 and went to Oroville and was connected to Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. And I didn't really spend a lot of time in Tiruvannamalai until after COVID, really. And I have recently been connected with some of these saints who from that area and developed such a profound inner relationship and love and respect and honoring for these beings and learned about their lives. And, so just to say that that's all there, it's like, instead of going to one, like immerse in one stream, it's going to immerse in another stream. And how do you compare the streams? You can't. And which stream should you go immerse in? That can only come from you and not from us.
Yeah.
But
I do want to say something about that though, because I was laughing a little bit when you said what you were sharing, Tracy, because I fell in love with all things yoga when I was like maybe 18, 19 in college, and all I wanted was to go to India. I was like waiting for a sign, waiting for the message, it's time to go. And I knew nothing of South India. It was, everything I knew was to go to the north and like, and Ram Dass was one of my first, I never knew him in person, but he was one of my first teachers, more through book reading. But, and it was kind of a shock to me, a surprise to me when in 2013, when finally, like I had been waiting for so many years to go to India. And then we were being sent, we were literally, well, just to be transparent, we were in a rough place in our marriage and we were literally sent, you need to go to India right now. And somehow, my mother-in-law, Matthew's mother, said, I'll stay with your little kids, just go. You've got 10 days, go. And we were in the South. And ever since then, so it's now, over 10 years, I don't know how to describe it other than like the greatest love affair of my life. I mean, there's just been,
Aside from me.
aside from you, of course, yes. I have fallen in love with South India, and I've fallen in love with our teachers, our friends, with Arunachala, with Shiva. And there's like so much I couldn't even try to, we'd be here all night if I started telling a lot of stories, which, someday maybe. But I'm sharing this because, and not to try to convince you of anything, because I have no idea what's right for you, for anybody. We only know when we pray and we get quiet and we receive guidance. But I'm sharing it more just because it was such like a magical unfolding of something that I never would have thought of in my mind or would have planned. So yeah, just wanted to share that. But with anything, we all have to be called. I feel that is true for any decision we make in life. That we really just need to pray and ask for guidance, whether it's about going to India or, what to do tomorrow. Can we pray and receive guidance? So yeah. And just on a practical note too, if you were, I saw you unmuted, I'll be quiet in 1 second, but just on a practical note, what we have had people do a lot in the past is they want to go with people, they want to get settled, have like an immersive pilgrimage, and then we can give you pointers and help you out for planning for after. Or sometimes people like to do a journey before they meet up with us. But a lot of times people go on afterwards and they feel like, okay, I'm grounded. I've just had this deep immersive experience. And now I'm ready to go on a plane to go up north or a train to go here. And we're happy to help. Matthew's our amazing Virgo and really good at every detail organizing. So we're happy to help in that way. Yeah, but go ahead. I know you're going to say something else.
Oh, I wanted to say thank you. And also, when I saw Nina's post and I clicked on your website and everything, I discovered that I live about 40 minutes away from your studio. And so it just feels like some kismet to have found you. So I'm grateful to be here. Thank you.
Oh, that's so awesome. I love the stories of how people find each other, how we all just get connected to the people we're supposed to be connected to. So what else? And also like no question is, or no comment is too small or too this or too that or whatever. Like yeah. If you want to talk about like, your digestive system, I'm happy to talk about that too. I'm the one to go to for all that kind of stuff. I'm the mama bear in this journey. But yeah, so what else is in your heart, on your mind?
I can just say to kind of, because you brought that up, India is different than it was 10 or 20 years ago. And I mean, you can get sick anywhere in the world. You can get sick at home. So there's no, there's no promises. But I haven't seen people getting sick recently in the way that I used to see them getting sick in India. It's very easy to get clean water. We have, everywhere we go, we have access to clean water
and really good food. Like we're food is amazing and it's clean and we know the people cooking it and maybe sometimes we're helping. So
Yes, I was just waiting for someone to say something about the food because that's like one of the big reasons, to be honest, for me to go to India. So
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. the when
We
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 s-
are we are big foodies. We
when we
love.
Awesome.
stay in Tiruvannamalai, the ashram that we stay, all the food is provided, and it's cooked by two local women who are
Lakshmi and Devaki.
incredible cooks, and it's kind of, yeah, creative, local flavors and local vegetables that are available at the time that we're there, and fruits and all kinds of stuff like that. So
And same as when we're in Quiet. When we
yeah.
stay at Quiet, a retreat center
Yeah,
out.
we could just say that the quiet thing came because we felt like, I mean, this is one of the things we learned. It's good for people to come and not just jump right into it. Jump right into, okay, let's go and
Now
be
we're going to
out
the
on
temple,
the
and now we're
street.
going to
Yeah.
satsang. Now we're going, it can be
So
a lot.
and people often want a massage or some body work or, so we decided that we would go to Quiet, which is on the beach. It's outside of Oroville. It's not in Oroville proper. It's on the coast, and it's kind of a healing modality center. So body work will be available. You'll get a massage as part of the, package. There'll be time on the beach. There'll be time for us to get to know each other. There'll be time to start developing some practice together. We will go to some local temples in the area. We'll go into Oroville and go visit some projects there. But mostly it's just to kind of land and ground so that when we arrive in Tiruvannamalai, we're rested and integrated, and jet lag is kind of behind, and we can really fully embrace the experience of being there.
Yeah, this place, Quiet, has been my secret place where I go alone for 4 days before a group comes. And this year we were guided to actually bring the group there and be there for those few days. And the local temples, there's two beautiful Shiva temples that we like to go to. There's a beautiful Hanuman temple that we've been to. There's some beautiful like places that are right, like a half-hour drive maybe from where we're staying, and also the Shurabindo ashram in Puducherry, and so it's that part of the journey. Well, actually, I want to say, because you were saying like we don't travel all over the place. We don't. We're in two main places, but I do want to say within the being in these two main places, we do stuff. We go visit places. There is some traveling, whether we'll be in a rickshaw or a car if it's close, and then we. If it's like a longer ride, we'll probably get like a minivan or a little mini bus is what we usually travel in. So there is, it's not like we're just in one place the whole time. We are coming and going a bit. But the goal is to go deep, and not run yourself ragged. That's not our style. We can't even handle that kind of a thing where you're like on the bus every hour going to a new place.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just had a comment on that. So I'm glad you brought that up because that's kind of what I'm looking for as well in terms of like the flexibility piece of it. If I wanted to stay at like a potentially different, I think I kind of like the idea that you talked about. I forgot the name of the place, like Quiet or the resort type place. Um, like last time when I was there in Tiruvannamalai, my sister had arranged at a place called Sparsha, and it was like really awesome. Like the cuisine was like really good, and also it was like I guess people from all over the world come, so it had a worldly flavor to it. So is it like the question is essentially, I know there's probably a time where you want everybody to focus on kind of the spiritual piece of it, but like, can I go there, spend a week in Sparsha, and then kind of join you guys there? Is that possible, or are we looking for everybody to kind of travel at the same time?
No, people don't need to travel together. It's fine to be there before, to stay after, anything
Okay,
like that.
awesome.
Fine. Yeah, Sparsa is really nice. Quiet is like Sparsa on the beach a little bit.
And not as fancy, I don't think, is it? Maybe.
It's
Okay.
kind of like
Well,
similar. But where we stay in Tiruvannamalai is not, it's more of an ashram setting.
got it.
Yeah, so you'll get but yes, people do not all come together. You can do anything before, and then we'll help to make sure that you get to, at least that you get to the Chennai airport, at the time you need to, and then we arrange a ride for you so that you can come to quiet at the beginning of the retreat.
Got you.
And people come from all different places, so that's no problem. Yeah, anything you want before or after. And even during, I mean, as during we are in a program, but we also schedule in free time. So, you know, in the afternoon, there might be like 2 hours of whatever you want it to be. So, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
where we stay in Tiruvannamalai is walking distance. I mean, it's right basically across the street, more or less, and across the street and a block down from the Ramana Maharshi ashram.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You don't have to, you can walk to
Okay.
anywhere.
But you do have to tell me that you're going to go somewhere by yourself because I like to keep track of everybody.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just teasing. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Susan, I think you were going to say something. I saw you unmute.
Yeah, hi. Um, I had a couple questions. One was about the, let me see if I say it wrong, right? Girivalam, the 8 mile walk,
Girivalam.
right? The
Girivalam.
Girivalam. So I was wondering about that and like, is it a big crowded thing? Is it a smaller kind of adventure? You know, what to expect for that, I think was one of my questions. And the other thing I'd say is I have a lot of curiosity about India and a lot of for many years longing to go there, but also a very healthy respect for the fact that it's an extremely different culture, you know, and that you know, probably not fully aware of what to expect when I get there. And so I'm looking for kind of a safe container, you know, but not a tourist trip, but an actual authentic experience, but in a safe group, you know, setting where, you know, I'll be cared for and looked after by, you know, my holders of the container. So that's one concern and one question about the 8 mile walk.
That's great. Thank you. Do you want to? Well, okay. So for Girivalam, first you will experience Matthew and I bickering about should we leave at 5 in the morning, 5:30, or 6 in the morning. This happens every year, and we usually settle it to about 5:30. Well, we usually leave about 5:30 a.m. So it's when you say crowded, are you asking about like are there tons of people in the street? Like maybe you've heard at full moon time, there's like thousands and thousands of people and it's overwhelming. Is that maybe what you were wondering about? Is it going to be like
Yes, that, and that they're all barefoot.
so we always try to schedule doing the Girivalam at a time that is not a full moon or a big holiday or a big event because it's really too much. So when we go, at least the way it's been every year so far, we go early in the morning. And you choose. Some people wear sneakers, some people wear, you know, whatever you can walk in comfortably, but you do take your, whatever you're wearing for chappals, you're going to take them off when we go to the temples. So, you know, it has to be, it's personal preference. Like I often do go barefoot, but that's just me. And then again, you have people in socks and sneakers, you have people in flip-flops, you have people in like strap sandals.
We had some blisters this time.
We did. So
For the
we're going to be a
first
little
time.
more strict about it this year.
For the first time ever, two people got pretty rough blisters. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you just have to take your shoes off at every temple that we stop at. So it's a little bit to manage.
But it's also not a big deal because, you know, you just take your socks and shoes off and then you put them back on because yeah, after having the first experience with blisters, which I guess we were blessed to never have had that happen, it did make us realize, okay, if your feet are not used to like being barefoot and roughing it, you put on your socks and sneakers.
Yeah, don't buy new sandals.
Oh yeah, that was part of the problem. I think they had new sandals.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't buy new sandals for
Your
this
little
trip.
winter feet are
Yeah.
not going to like the new sandals.
No.
And yeah, we leave early in the morning. The streets are quiet, and then
And the sun rises as we're walking.
depending on how long it takes us to finish and what time, how early we leave, the earlier we leave, the less crowded it becomes because we finish before the crowds come. But Yeah, it's not like the big festival times at all.
And it's all flat walking, and there are times where, especially if it gets later in the morning when it's more busy, there are times where we do have to cross busy streets, so we kind of all hold hands and we do it together. We do it in silence, and we offer just keep chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Arunachala Shiva is on your right the whole time, and it's a practice of how do I just stay centered in the midst of all that's going on around me. And then of course there's bathrooms along the way if you need. There are toilets, and if you need, and we stop for tea at a certain point. And if anyone is having a hard time walking, you can do it on rickshaw and just stay with us, but you get in a rickshaw and then you stop at the next temple that we're going to. So yeah, so that's a little bit about that. And as far as the safe container, well, probably you already know because you and I have talked a bunch. I'm an overprotective Jewish mother. It's just what I am. It's part of my blood. So, love and care and intimacy and support, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. That's what Matthew and I hold, aside from my joke of being an overprotective Jewish mother. We're committed to holding you all in a container and in a sacred way that really honors whatever it is that you're going through. And we've done this now for 10 years, past 10 years in India, and then before that so even longer with the teacher trainings. So yeah. So I feel like you're in good hands. I feel like I can say that very clearly. You're in good hands with us. We also have a lot of local friends and teachers, because we've been there so many times and we've developed these intimate relationships. Yes, there's an aspect of being a tourist because you don't live there, but we have these intimate relationships with people and places and spaces and teachers. So there's an intimacy, that happens because of that. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
This is maybe a silly question, but could you speak to weather and heat?
Yeah, no, that is not a silly question. That's a very important question. Yeah, it's hot. It'll be pretty warm when we go. Although the nights are cooler, so it's like 80, and in the sun it's like 90. In the shade it's like 80 during the day.
It's 9 degrees latitude, so the sun is very hot, and the shade, it's not, especially in Tiro, it's pretty dry, so the shade is cool. So as long as you're not in the sun, I mean, last year especially, I
It was
didn't
like
really,
really cool,
yeah, it was
much
quite
cooler.
pleasant.
Yeah.
Some of it depends on how breezy it is. At the beach, it's obviously pretty breezy. So at quiet, as long as you're not sitting in the sun, it's pretty manageable.
And everywhere too, there's always like big, huge fan. Oh, actually, at Quiet, the rooms have AC. At Triveni Ashram, where we'll be staying in Tiruvannamalai.
He said he's putting them in,
He
but I
is?
don't
Oh,
know.
really?
He did tell me he's
Oh,
putting them,
wow.
but
I
that's
wouldn't
not a
be
promise.
surprised
It's
if
not
he.
a promise.
Our,
And
our dear brother is now managing the small Triveni Ashram, and he is from France, so he might be putting in. But either way, like the downstairs rooms are much cooler. Every space you go to, if it doesn't have AC, has fans, and these fans are like power fans, like they actually work. But because we do dress more conservatively, like even if we're wearing sleeveless, we cover our shoulders. So there is, I don't want to use the word dress code, but in certain temples, there is definitely a dress code. And in general, we want to really be respectful. So we do ask people to dress accordingly. And we can, we give you guys a welcome packet that has like everything. And anything it's missing, you let us know and we'll answer for you. But yeah, so like you'll want to get like lightweight linen or cotton so that you can have your shoulders covered, but it's not be too hot, or like, pants that go below your knee, again, very lightweight, that sort of thing.
February is the winter. I mean, this is in the northern hemisphere, so February is the winter. It's towards the end of the winter, but it is winter. So it's not like being in South India in the spring or summer.
No, because that's
That's when it's hot.
really hot.
It's kind of like early summer here, or I don't know, maybe midsummer.
Except that it's not humid
Yeah,
like it is
that's the
here. It's
difference.
like, yeah, it's drier. Um, it's so beautiful. I I love it there. Yeah. Derek, did you move to the mainland and now you can fly and join us?
I'm still working on it, you guys. The reason I came on is because I just need to keep this fire lit inside of me. Like it's gonna happen, but I need to keep seeing you guys and hearing about this until I get wings to get there. But I'm still really eager to join you all on this trip. And I feel like I'm getting closer to that happening. So
I
just
think
had to.
I'm feeling the magic. Maybe
Okay, awesome. I love to hear that.
it's good to see you also.
So I have one question. So I was actually thinking along these lines, like doing kind of a South Indian pilgrimage, if you will, with my sister and my brother-in-law. They are Indians, like they live in Mumbai. So is this something that would be open to them if they just join in Chennai, or how does that work?
Of course, yeah, and we have had Indians in our retreats before,
Okay.
and
Like people who live in
yeah, people who
India.
live in
Yeah.
India, and one
Actually,
of the things
all three, the
every
past
year,
3 years, we've had
yeah,
at least one or two local people join us.
Okay.
and
Awesome.
Local-ish.
what they've said, I found interesting. I mean, I wouldn't have, known, but they said that being within our group allowed them to see India through different eyes.
Exactly. I think you hit the nail on the head. And even for me, um, I am kind of little excited about this because this is looking at, even though I've been here for almost 25 years now, like I'm used to my sister's view of like South India, and now it's almost as if I'm seeing a different perspective of it, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we really, I mean, especially in Tiruvannamalai, I mean, I guess in both places, we really are plugged in with people that, if you just go there on your own, you're not going to meet these people. You're not going to meet Ma Devaki, you're not going to meet Kolamalai
Or like
Swami.
ramen, even,
Yeah.
when we're in
Like
quiet, like
these beautiful
yeah,
people who
ramen and
not
Kamalai.
only are holding like a spiritual lineage and have spent their whole lives committed to holding a spiritual lineage, whether it's Vedanta, or whether it's the kind of preserving the lineage of Yogi Ram Sarakumar, or whatever, or like Raman is a scholar of Tamil history and Tamil spirituality and Tamil texts and kind of yoga through the Tamil perspective. So these really beautiful people who are really holding something precious, that you know you wouldn't just run across them. We've kind of curated an experience
No,
to.
that's good because I'm actually like I'm Tamil, but I won't say I'm like probably I don't have any of this like the whatever knowledge that they have. So I'm really looking forward to like just learning a little bit more about
Yeah.
all that stuff.
It's so rich. I mean, like Corinne said about, North India versus South India, most in the West of what we know about yoga comes through Sanskrit and the Sanskrit yoga traditions. And the Tamil yoga traditions are a whole rich, beautiful, like Tirumantaram talks about the 8 limbs of yoga and talks about Siddha medicine and healing and, all the different many different kinds of yogic practices, and it's all in Tamil, and the Nayanars and these beings in the south who embody this richness of bhakti yoga, devotion to Shiva in particular. There's just so much life and so much richness there that's not really known about in the West. And it's
Mhm.
not just the information, it's the feeling. The
Yeah.
feeling of Shiva Bhakti in the South is something completely unique and different. It's like Krishna Bhakti in Vrindavan,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
right
yeah,
in that
right.
area. Like there's a whole vibe, there's a whole rasa in that area. The same way in the South, there's a whole unique feeling that, and in Tiruvannamalai around Arunachala, around Shiva, it's quite beautiful.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
Rich flavor, both on the tongue and in the spirit and in the heart. It's just so
Got it.
rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you. The people who haven't spoken yet, you want to? Anybody? No pressure. You don't have to. Just if there's anything up.
I'll just say I don't have any specific questions right now because I'm in a big transition in the next 2 weeks. And my mind and heart are already very full. But since I don't know everyone in this meeting just yet, I will say that I do know Corinne and Matthew. And I'd say I feel more called to go anywhere with them than India specifically. They are amazing people and great teachers. I myself am a bit of a homebody, but a seeker. And in a way, and I mean no disrespect by this, I feel that wherever I go, I am circling the same thing. Funny enough, I'm about to move to Utah. There are beautiful mountains in Utah. But, right, um, I just learned so much from the two of you. And I think Susan brought up the idea of going with you with a group of other curious, I'm sure beautiful souls is very appealing. And I think the other day I came across a line which resonated so much. It was something to the effect of when you have let go of all your expectations, and you truly don't know what's next, that's when transformation really happens. And it was just striking to me because, like, I literally don't know where I'm living in 2 weeks. And that's kind of just where I just feel very open to kind of all things. So, um, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, Heather. I'm so glad you're here. And we have traversed years of practice, study, journeying together. So, yeah. And yeah, I'm just glad you're here. It's good to see you. And wow, it's in 2 weeks. So, and I love the line you said. It's true. And I've been thinking about how when the snake sheds its skin and how it goes blind. When a snake is shedding its skin, it goes blind for that period. And I was so struck by that because it's like, oh wow, when big transformation is happening, we can't see anything. We don't know. And it's in the unknowing that all these things get revealed. Because we're more surrendered in a time like that. It's like we're in a place of deep surrender, and all right, shed what's going to shed and then reveal what's going to be revealed. And yeah, but holding you in love as you go into the unknown and the next. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Trying to think if there were things. I know some people who couldn't be here, what they were wanting to ask. I should have written things down or had people email me. That would have been a good plan. But anyone who's watching this recording, if you're still watching it, if you're still on, just reach out to us with questions. Yeah. And we're always happy to get on a phone call or another Zoom call and just one-on-one if you have more like personal stuff you want to talk through. We're always happy to do that as well. So, yeah.
I have a small question. So when we first arrive, is there like a group pilgrimage to the bank to transform currency so that we have shopping money or tea money or chai money or whatever? I mean, is that what you normally do? Like a
There's two ways to deal with that money. I mean, usually you can get rupees from your local bank if you want before you come. Um, and you can also, if you have an ATM card, you can use an ATM card in India to withdraw money from an ATM. If you want to actually change money, we can arrange that in Pondicherry. This is the first time, I guess,
Because we
when we've
won't.
stayed in Oroville, there's like a bank that you have to go, you kind of have to go to financial services in order to get your Oro card and all that stuff. And I guess maybe they're going to get an Oro card because we're quiet.
They might still make us do all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so in which case, basically
Yes,
when
there
you're
will
a
be
guest
like,
in Oroville, you go and check in and get a kind of guest card at this place and you can change money there. So that's how it's historically been done, and I think probably that's what'll happen again.
but either way, there's a lot of little excursions like that. Like, okay, these five people want to exchange money, and we do it during this hour, and we go together, and it's an event. It's like each thing you have to do, it's its own experience, really. Or like, somebody, this happens every year. People are like, I really don't have clothes. Like, and then it's like, all right, now these three people, we're gonna go to, Kulapaliyam, which is now very much closer to where we are staying in Quiet. So we'll just take a little excursion there, just be on the street, grab what you need. And that's a whole experience too, anything you're doing becomes a whole experience, both cultural and spiritual. So yeah, we have a lot of little, or even like, we're out somewhere and everybody has, these six people have to pee. So even going to find the toilet together, it's like everything is like a sacred journey within the journey, in my experience. So yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, whatever I mean, whether it's money or, making sure you have food, clothes, water, whatever your needs are, we're gonna make sure that you're taken care of.
And we do have both at Quiet and at Treveni, we have our 3 meals a day that are provided there. And then there are times we eat out at other places. But again, all of that, you don't have to, it makes me think of Connor last year, who was like, wow, I don't have to think about anything. I just have to show up at the time you tell me to show up at the gate. And, we've heard that a lot from people of like, wow, I just like, to not have to figure out what you're eating or where you're going to get it from, or, how to get from this place to that place is actually a luxury that most of us don't live with in our day-to-day lives. So yeah. And, snacks, this kind of, there's great places to get healthy snacks. We tend to avoid just like random street food. I won't ever tell you you can't, but just being a person, I have a very sensitive digestive and nervous system, so I make smart and careful choices. So, I try to offer that to everybody of just, make your choices if you're out and on the street and you want a snack. We're a little choosy about where we get snacks from. So, yeah. And also, like, with temples, there are, like, I think I was saying this earlier, there are certain protocols. So before we go to any place that has a certain dress code or protocol, we will make sure we let you know. And again, if you're like, oh, I don't have that, we find it for you. So,
Just one question in terms of like the overall, high level logistics of it. So, like, does everybody get there on their own and then, like you said, like go from Chennai onwards, or do you guys book the tickets from here and kind of line up the flights and all that stuff?
Yeah, the flights everybody does on their own.
Got it. Okay.
Everybody's coming from a different place.
although we do ask you to email us the flight you're considering, because we want to look at it and make sure like you did the right time conversion and all of that. So before you buy it,
Yeah,
we
sometimes
ask you to show
people
it to
will
us.
get the, 12:05 a.m. They book it the wrong day and whatever. So yeah, that's helpful. But once you arrive, wherever you're arriving, or if you're in Tiruvannamalai before, like if you're in India somewhere before, we basically will send a car So if you're flying into Chennai, we'll send a car to pick you up at the airport.
Oh,
Sometimes
nice. Okay.
people will fly into Chennai and spend a night, and because a lot of the flights from the US will arrive at 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. So some people will go to a hotel in Chennai. We have a bunch of hotels we recommend. People will go and just sleep for a few hours, and we'll send a car to the hotel. But
At like 10
basically,
a.m. after you've slept and
yeah.
showered, just so you feel a little more human.
So
Yeah.
everybody is going to meet at Quiet, which is near Pondicherry, at a certain time on the first day. In the middle of the day on the first day.
It's
So
like after, it's like lunchtime.
yeah, lunchtime. So we'll kind of arrange all the taxis based on where people are, and some taxis will have more than one person and whatever. We just get everybody to the same place at the same time. But we're handling the logistics of getting you there. You just have to get yourself kind of into Tamil Nadu, basically.
Yeah. And
Within,
I could choose. Sorry, go ahead.
just within 3 or 4 hours of Oroville. Get yourself within 3 or 4 hours of Oroville. We'll do the rest.
And I could choose to get in like a couple of days early and just say that, usually jet lag and all that stuff, I like to just give myself a couple of days and then maybe line up whenever I'm ready for that trip.
Exactly, and we'll
Okay,
get
all
you
right.
up wherever you are, and we'll at the other end we'll get you to the airport or wherever your next place is. We'll
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
take care of that.
That I have another question on just to follow up on that. So what is the airport like there? Is it very large? Is it a smaller airport? What's the navigation of the airport like? Getting from the airport to the hotel?
The Chennai airport is they just built a new international terminal. It is quite big. It's a big international airport, but they just built a new terminal, so it's kind of, I mean, literally like they just finished it last year. So it's fancy and
No, but the
modern.
arrival is still very small.
No, it's new.
Oh, new since we were there in February?
No, no, I mean anyway. I don't. Maybe you. I don't know. I don't know. I think you saw the new one. I think you forget.
Oh, maybe.
Anyway, it's getting from the airport to the hotel. So the hotel will send a car to pick you up. You basically arrange that with the hotel. They'll send a driver with your little card with your name on it, and you come out of the airport and you find your driver, and the driver will take you to the hotel. So there's basically two choices. You can stay. Well, I think if you're coming in the middle of the night, we can't
Well,
check into Quiet.
Susan and Heidi are probably they're going to be in Europe before,
Uh-huh.
right? That's still the thought is they're going to be in Europe, so they don't necessarily have to fly in at 2 a.m. They could, or do they still?
Most of the flights from Europe
Okay.
also come in from
Oh,
2 in the
okay.
middle of the night. If you don't end up in the middle of the night, theoretically, you come in at 10 in the morning.
And you just come to Quiet.
Yeah, we could just have you come right to Quiet, and we would send a driver to the airport to pick you up. But any of the hotels that we recommend, they will, you can arrange with them for them to send you a driver. The driver will pick you up at the airport and bring you to the hotel.
And this is something like I've even done by myself, or like with one woman friend, or even I was with my kids, there's been times where I just get into Chennai. Each year it's been different, but just get into Chennai, don't want to deal with any more traveling and just go to a local hotel. And it's so easy. I mean, you go outside and there is a crowd of people at 2 a.m. because there's all these flights coming in. But it's so seamless because this person is standing there with your name on a big sign, and you just go right there, and they take you to the local hotel, and you just shower and go to sleep.
It's a good idea to get an international calling plan, and I know Verizon's situation is even if you don't buy the international calling plan, if you turn on your phone, they'll just charge you $10 a day for every day that you use the phone abroad. So you can just, if there's any issue, you just call the hotel.
Right. I wanted to say something about that too. Nobody asked about this, but just to put it out there, we are happy to talk with people about payment plans. And I know for me, so much still to this day is like, oh, I'm called to do XYZ, but holy moly, how am I going to afford to do this? So just, reach out to us privately if you want to set up payment plans. We have a pretty hearty system with Shraddha Yoga, and there's all these different ways that we can set up payment plans and accept payment and all of that. So yeah, I just thought of it when Matthew was talking about the plan for your phone. So yeah.
I just wanted to add one thing based on my experience around the flights. Um, I past couple of years I've been taking Emirates, and that generally lands in India during the daytime, which I really like. So I'm not sure. It may be going to Chennai, but it definitely goes to Mumbai and Bangalore, and you can Kochi, and you can connect from there. But I just wanted to throw out Emirates as an option.
We've been flying Emirates as
Oh,
well.
awesome.
Yes,
All
the
right.
Really
flight
good.
from Boston through Dubai arrives at 2 in the morning though.
Oh,
Yeah.
it does? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I didn't know that.
still 2 in the morning, but it's been lovely to fly with them the last 3 years. I think we did them. Right?
Qatar and
Oh yeah, Qatar's
Emirates
good too.
are and Etihad are going into Chennai. But if you're coming from Europe, like Lufthansa has flights to Chennai. Air
Yeah.
France, I don't know
All
if
right.
they still do, but British Airways also does.
Yeah. I generally take Emirates to Mumbai, and it lands at like, I have a lot of choices like 2 p.m. in the afternoon, 5 p.m. in the afternoon.
Oh,
Uh,
maybe I should
it's,
go there first. Jenna.
Because Dubai to Mumbai is there's probably a lot of flights from Dubai to Mumbai, but
yeah,
Chennai is a little farther, a little less.
That's why.
got you.
And I have a lot of little remedies and secrets about, how to make the flight easier, that I have on the, not secrets, but like, suggestions of, bring some cloves to chew on, bring some nasya oil to, rub in your nose, just different small Ayurvedic tips that can help you with the travel. Because, being on an airplane for that long of a time is a lot. And the time change, it'll be 10.5 hour difference. Jet lag is real. So we kind of build in how to take care of our sensitive selves when we're doing this journey. So that some of those recommendations are in the welcome letter as well. So yeah, anything else before I know it's getting to be bedtime for some of us. We don't stay up late in India. This last year we had two, I'm calling them young people. They were younger, than some of us. And at the info session, one person was like, well, I want to make the most of it while I'm there. So can I like go out at night and do these things? I was like, sure, absolutely. If you want to go out, after 9 p.m., go for it. But like, we're waking you up ready for practice at 6 a.m. So as long as you can, I don't think he ever went out at night, not once, because it's like it's so full, it's so rich. Like you don't need to go out past 9 o'clock. It's like it's enough. But if you do, you're allowed to. So, well, I think you all know where to find us. Do you all know where to find us? If you want to ask more questions, talk about anything, yeah? Okay. Anything that's important we're forgetting?
Um,
I always think of things like while I'm falling asleep or tomorrow, Yeah, go ahead,
Tracy,
Tracy.
I'm doing a kirtan in Amherst on August 16th. So just if you're close by, that would be a time you could come and we could meet.
Yeah, thank you. I loved your Hanuman Chalisa. I listen to that chant every day, so it was
Oh, yeah.
beautiful to hear yours. Yeah.
Aw.
I was
We
going to
can go
ask
to the Hanuman temple and chant Hanuman Chalisa there. Can we?
about
I don't know.
Okay, we don't know. We don't make any
We
promises.
don't make
We,
promises.
we have an itinerary, but we don't make any promises because there's a divine flow that brings us everywhere that we go once we're there. But go ahead.
I was wondering about group size, and do you usually sell out, and like, what's the urgency to commit, deposit, that kind of thing?
It's a great question. Yeah.
The maximum size is 14 total.
I
We
think
could,
so.
yeah, the 14 total of all of us. Historically, we have sold out, but to be honest, not till like later.
Which kind of makes us a little nuts because,
Since
you know,
COVID, people decide things at the last minute, which is a little challenging to
yeah.
manage, but it always comes together. But it
But
just,
usually I'd say since COVID, the group size has been 10 plus us.
yeah, 12.
12 plus? Yeah, we are, I mean, I don't want to make a proclamation, but I think we're done with big groups.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
we did that in the past and it's too much, you know. Um, yeah, so I really enjoyed the size that we've had. And it's like, it was it? I
I
don't
don't
know,
know
somewhere
exactly.
between like
10,
8 and 12 usually,
12
I
to
think.
14 people max, including us, is
Yeah,
kind of, that's feels
because
like a good
Triveni's, yeah,
size. Yeah, the
yeah.
ashram that we're staying can't take any more than that. But it's manageable.
And as far as, you know, I mean, you people, I think we made December 31st as the deadline to pay in full, right? I mean, you have to at least pretend we're, I mean, you know, it's
There's
just
no
true that we've had a lot,
guarantee.
like yeah, we can't
There's
say
no
there will be a spot
guarantee
if you don't
of
do it
anything, you know.
soon.
Everybody, it could fill up in a week, and since COVID, for some reason, people seem to be waiting. But you know, sometimes a lot of people sign up all within a week, you know, within a period of time. If you were like, you know, I'm really serious, I want to do this, but I don't know, you could say to us, we just let me know if people start signing up, and we could do that. We could keep you in the loop.
Yeah.
You know, I wrote a Facebook post about this recently. I think this, I don't, Nina shared the trip right after I wrote this post, so I don't know if she saw it and was, and like, if it influenced her in sharing it. But, you know, this is not something that, it's not like a product. It's not something I want to convince you to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk you into this. I don't want,
We
you know,
don't want to sell you something, you know, that
yeah.
you buy and it's like,
This is something that's like very precious to us, and very like, and like we're inspired to offer this, and it's like such an awkward thing. Like, how do we tell people about it without getting into that whole marketing sales thing? So like, if I was to tell you like, yeah, you better sign, you know, and when you're selling something, it's like, you got to
sign up by August
tomorrow.
31st or else you're out.
We
Like
just can't do that.
yeah.
We just can't do it. So we're happy to, you know, keep you in the loop. You know, use your own sense of timing and inspiration and guidance, and however you make decisions for these sorts of things. We're happy to support you in whatever way we can, and really trust that it's you know, the flow will move you in whatever direction you should go.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. It feels really, you guys both feel just so grounded and authentic. And so it's really nice to just sit in this space with you and just, you know, noticing my own attachments. Are you thinking about going back to Northern India and doing any lead trips back there?
I'm like, we have various teachers, gurus, but our main in the body guru who we've been with, who lives here, who we've been with for 20 years, she, after 6 years of not being in India, she said she's going to India this winter. And she said, she originally said, I'm going to the north. And I was like, I've been waiting, because the furthest north I've ever been is Indore. And I'm like waiting and waiting and waiting for the right time. And so anyway, that's not happening, but
That would have been Rishikesh anyway.
right, it would have been Rishikesh.
But you're
so.
the third person in the past 2 weeks to ask me if I'm doing a
I
trip
think
in
it's going to
Northern.
happen sometime. I really do, because you know when I think it's going to happen? Our younger kid has 2 more years of high school, and then we have 2 kids that are out of the house. So I think if we're doing a north trip, it's going to be in 3 years from now, maybe. We don't know. We never know anything until God tells us, to be honest.
Did you know David Newman? So that's who I ran the trips in North India at Neem Karoli Baba's ashram with, was with him and Benji and Heather Wertheimer. And it's hard for me to think about doing that without him at this point.
Especially because you guys were in dialogue about doing it again before he died.
Like a week before he got sick, I was in India and we talked about doing it again and we're starting to plan and everything. So it's just like,
it's tender.
yeah. Yeah. So it'll probably happen, but I'm waiting for something to move me in that direction.
Here's a nudge. To nudge you.
That's okay.
I'm nudging too. I want to. But I think I need this other kid to leave the house first so we can be there longer, for a longer period of time. Maybe we'll get to go together since the North has called us for so long. Yeah.
So just real quick, in terms of like the itinerary, dates, all that stuff, will you be sending out a email or is it available somewhere?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually just, because we're all here right now, we do have this, we have this itinerary on the website, but I'm gonna just pop it in the chat right now, just so you can, click on it and even pull it up. This is the Google Doc that has the dates and, what we're gonna be doing. Okay. So, but again, anything is subject to change once we're there based on the needs of the group or whatever's happening in actual time and space when we're there.
Got it.
Yeah, so the Google Doc is there, and then Matthew also just put the link to the web page that has all of the details and information.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else you want to put in there? No?
Yeah, and it's not just that the itinerary might change, it definitely will change.
It will definitely change, yeah.
Because
But not like
changes.
in such a huge way. I mean,
No,
little
no,
things
it's just like
change. Like the
day to
Homa will
day.
happen on this day instead of that day, or
Yeah.
visiting the Durga temple will happen this day instead of that day. Things like that can be moved around. So, and somehow it always works out like perfectly. It's very humbling. Like the way I experience this all is just so humbling because it's so much bigger than us, and it's just like we owe our existence to yoga in India, really. Like I don't think I'd be alive without this place, these teachings, these practices. So it's like we bow. So
I feel like the dorky kid in the front of the class. Just another question. Just glancing as I'm listening at the itinerary. Is there asana every day? Is that the morning sadhana?
yeah, so morning sadhana I like to try to make it mostly rooted in asana because the other parts of the day we do so much chanting and sitting and meditating. But the morning, well, and actually it depends because we will be having meditation too in the morning. Okay, let me backtrack a little. So when we do asana, it's going to be in the morning because otherwise it gets too warm. With the exception of a restorative asana that we'll do like on the Girivalam day. But the morning sadhana is usually rooted in pranayama, asana, little bit of mantra. But because we're doing a lot more sitting and meditating and concentrating and chanting all day, all night, I tend to like save more of the asana for the morning. So yeah. And because it gets a little warmer as the day goes on as well. And that will also be tailored to who is in the group, because I look at asana and pranayama and all aspects of yoga practice as what is going to help you know yourself more deeply and what is healing and therapeutic for you and what connects you to the divine the most. So like who is the group? What do you all need? How are we going to tailor things for you all as a group this year, not what we did last year, because it's every year it's different people with different requests or needs. So yeah. Anything else?
All right, well, we're here. If anything comes up, and
Thank
it's nice to
you.
connect with all of you. Hope to see you.
Anywhere, here, there, somewhere, anytime.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Good
you.
night, everyone.
Good
Thank
night.
you, Corinne
Good
and
night.
Matthew. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good night.